expensive to solve that they are left to fester or are kicked into the future for someone else to deal with. Climate change is the most obvious one. Many of the opportunities we reach for founder for lack of funding or of the political and social will to carry them out. They are among the grandest, boldest, and most brilliant ideas humans have ever had, confronting some of our biggest challenges. With $1 trillion, you could make them happen. At the very least, you could have a lot of fun trying. Such was my viewpoint as I set out to write. And then coronavirus hit. While it is sadly still a daydream that I personally have $1 trillion to spend, that sum is no longer fantastical. It is valid, even vital to investigate how it might best be spent. In March 2020, the United States Congress approved an economic stimulus package worth $2.2 trillion, aimed at mitigating the impact of the coronavirus. In November 2021, President Joe Biden signed into law a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, with part of that money earmarked for investment on electric vehicle charging stations. Biden also hopes to pass the $2.2 trillion Build Back Better bill, which will address climate change through massive investment in clean energy, amongst other things that I address in this book. The figure of $1 trillion became almost commonplace, so much so that the idea of minting $1 trillion platinum coin at the US Treasury was revived. Away from the US, in 2020, the leaders of the G20 group of nations agreed on a $5 trillion fiscal policy stimulus. The European Union passed a €1 trillion economic rescue package. In June 2020, the International Energy Agency estimated that governments worldwide would be spending $9 trillion in a matter of months on firing up their post-pandemic economies. Another estimate put that figure at $12 trillion. In 2020, globally, more than $6 trillion was created through quantitative easing. The money is there. Huge sums have always been there in the global economy, but right now, projects on $1 trillion scale are being rolled out. Tens of trillions of dollars in economic stimulus packages are being chopped up, partitioned, allocated, siphoned. What if we could spend that cash? If only we could divert some of it, scrape a bit here and there from governments and banks, or quantitatively ease $1 trillion into existence and spend it before anyone noticed. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine what we could achieve. What, say, could the World Health Organization, which has an annual budget of just $4.8 billion, do with $1 trillion for a global SARS-CoV-2 vaccination and treatment campaign? Or if the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, annual budget $200 million, was given this sort of money and told to spend it on mitigating the impact of global warming. $1 trillion could really move the needle. That's what this book is about. We've seen in the response to the coronavirus that money can be found. And we've seen over the months of lockdown and social distancing that civilizational changes can be made. Indeed, we're beginning to recognize that they must be made. Writing this, I often thought of Lin-Manuel Miranda singing in Hamilton, "I'm not throwing away my shot." This, the shock and chance for reset that coronavirus has given us, is our shot. The victory of Joe Biden in 2020 makes dramatic change more possible. But first, let's set some ground rules. You know the movie Brewster's Millions. Richard Pryor's character has to spend $30 million in 30 days in order to inherit a $300 million fortune, but isn't allowed to own any assets at the end or give away the money. Under the rules of Project Trillion, spending must be broadly directed to saving both humanity and the planet. It can go toward improving human welfare, protecting and restoring the environment, advancing science and increasing our stock of knowledge, but it may not be used to form a new nation-state, nor destabilize existing ones, nor indeed be spent for military, media, political or investment purposes, including fiscal stimulus. It would be tempting to buy Fox News, value $20 billion, and repurpose it as a politically independent media operation, or to spend billions lobbying for, say, investment in renewable energy, and supporting politicians willing to stand up to fossil fuel companies. For that matter, we might want to use the trillion as a fiscal weight on the scales to force the introduction of a carbon tax. I also toyed with the idea